What are polynomials? Hello, welcome. My name is Miss Jill, and today we're going to be talking about polynomials. So, a polynomial is an expression made up of variables, coefficients, and exponents combined using addition, subtraction, or multiplication. So, here are some examples. We have 3x plus 2x plus 1. That's a polynomial. And then we have x cubed minus 4x. That's another example of a polynomial. This is not a polynomial. The reason why this is not a polynomial is because it has exponents that are negative. So you see the x to the negative 2, this makes it not a polynomial because that's going to bring it down to the bottom. So this is also a reason why it's not a polynomial because that's x to the negative 1. It's on the bottom of a fraction. So if you see anything that looks like that, it is not a polynomial. Let's go over some vocabulary. So terms are the individual parts of a polynomial that are separated by a plus or a minus. So we have one term, two terms, three terms, four terms. So this polynomial has four terms because you have addition and subtraction between all of them. The degree is the highest exponent of the variable. So we have all x's here, and the highest exponent is the number 3. So this is the third degree. It's a third degree polynomial. The coefficient is the number in front of a variable. So 2 is a coefficient. This one does not have a coefficient. This one does not have a coefficient. There's nothing in front of it. So 5 is also not a coefficient, but 5 is a constant because a constant is a term without a variable. So 5 is a constant and 2 is a coefficient. There's different names for polynomials based on how many terms they have. So if it has only one term, like this one, it's a monomial. If it has two terms, it's called a binomial. If it has three terms, it is called a trinomial. Now, all of these are polynomials, but if it has more than three terms, it's just called a polynomial. There's other names for it, but we'll get into that later. You can also classify them by their degree. So if the polynomial has a degree of 0, then it is constant. So for example, if you only have the number 5, which is technically a polynomial, even though it has one number, that's a constant polynomial. If you have a degree of 1, so you have this x here, that's the same as x to the 1. And then quadratic would be the highest degree is to the second power. So second is quadratic. Cubic is if the highest term is to the third power. The third degree is a cubic polynomial. All right. So what are like terms? So like terms are terms with the same variable and exponent. So for example, 3x squared and 5x squared. You can combine those two, the x squareds. So 3x squared and a 5x squared. Those are like terms. Another one is 7x squared and negative 4x squared. A non-example is 3x squared and 2x because the second x is not squared. So they are not alike. They're different. So those are not like terms. So now we are going to practice combining like terms. So we can see we have x squared and x squared. So we're just going to add the numbers in front of them, which are the coefficients. So 2x squared plus 5x squared equals 7x squared. All right, try to do the next two on your own. Pause it, and then I'll tell you what to do. All right, so here we can only combine these two. So we have 3x squared minus 2x squared is 1x squared, or we can just say x squared. We don't have to put the 1 in front. And then plus x. We can't combine the x because it's not an x squared. Finally, we have number 3. We have 4x minus 2x, which is just 2x. And then we have 7x squared minus 5x squared, which is 2x squared. So it's going to be plus 2x squared because 7 is bigger than 5. So 2x plus 2x squared. So we combined these two because they were both x's, and we combined these two because they are both x squareds. So in summary, polynomials are expressions with variables, coefficients, and whole number exponents. Like terms share the same variables and exponents. You can combine like terms by adding or subtracting the coefficients. In the next video, we will be adding and subtracting polynomials. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.